Okay.
Okay. So, welcome everybody. I am very excited to interview my beautiful friend and mentor and one of my beloved teachers, Amit Carmeli. Welcome, Amit. Amit has been journeying and uh, teaching this work for 24 years. He travels around the world running retreats and offering his incredible musical soul level journeys that support women and men to connect to their true essence, to let go of what it is that doesn't serve them or whatever's not in alignment with their true nature, and to remember the simplicity of their essence. And so he's also the founder of the Music School of Life, and he has a backstory of being a musician. And my take on Amit is that he one of the things that I feel that he does that I haven't experienced other people doing in this way before, it's like his musicality and his love of nature affords him this amazing capacity to be able to see through into the soul, and kind of like you can tune a guitar, he like tunes the soul and works with somebody's heart and soul essence to create a deeper level of alignment or remembrance in such a graceful and uh, powerful way. And so it's amazing to be able to be here with you, Amit. And we've been on a journey together for about 8 years now, or maybe a little bit longer. And I know that for me, to have space held, to be able to keep deepening, to be part of your temples have been such a nourishing component of who I am and who I continue to be able to have space to let go and rediscover my essence again and again. And I guess it's less of a process of addition, it's more of a process of letting go and of subtraction, less complicated, more simple, but deeply profound. So yeah, I'm honored to be here with you and sharing this interview. I'm excited for your Australian tour, and yeah, I'd love to just hear anything that comes through for you around this musicality piece that I know is so dear to your heart, and something that I was just present to before our interview was, for me, one of the things that's so easy to love and drop into is dance. And another one of those is singing. And I feel like it's not an effort to connect with that as an expression of my soul's love, of my soul's freedom. And I feel like your main flavor is musicality and bringing that through. And yeah, I could see you singing from the start of your life right to the very end. And I'd love to hear anything that comes through for you around that musicality.
So first of all, um, I did not start singing until I was 28, just for you to understand.
You just came out singing.
I, wa-
My mind,
I
you
was actually very shy, very quiet, barely speaking. So for me to, and whenever I heard my voice in recordings, my father used to have this recorder, just talking, forget about singing. I didn't recognize myself.
Mm.
And walking with this feeling of not liking my voice, as I grew up, became actually something I could not really live in peace with. What do you mean I don't like my voice? What is it that I don't like about just me talking? So, so it's good point to start with, because it may look today as if I was singing since the moment it came. Well, in some way we are, yeah. The moment we cry, we start our song in this life, as a baby. But really, as a talking voice, as an expressive voice, I felt very shut down until I became around 28. When it burst out of me, I had to. For many years, I wanted, and I didn't dare. I was a thriving musician, happy producer. I did beautiful, but didn't dare to sing. So the idea of not liking your voice, this is a very interesting one, because when you think about it, this is who you are. This voice we are talking about, this is who you are. Not the idea that you have about you, what you think you should be or you are. Yeah. Who you really are is that voice traveling on this planet. That voice being speaking to your beloved ones, to your colleagues, whatever. Yeah? That voice is actually creating your reality, creating your life. We create with this voice. Yeah? And I'm not talking about artistic creativity, I'm talking about buying bread in the shops. You speak your voice, you use your voice. So not liking the creator part in you is a big deal. This is how you create your life, so you don't like that voice. For me, it was something I couldn't live in peace with. Why am I not liking? And yet later I understood why I'm not liking, because it was the covered me. It was the hidden me coming out through this, I take this, it's a channel, yeah, it's a flute, and our fears and wounds and misconceptions, yeah, it's all functioning as like, if I see it as a flute, or even better way to look at it, as a spring of water, yeah. Now water can come out through a clear channel, okay, or filled with mud and stones and a lot of things, that the water will come out like with what is possible. In the years I didn't like my voice, it was a very tiny or thin channel coming out because of my fear and constriction. I would speak very very monotonic and very thin voice, annoying voice, I would say. So there was a good reason not to like that voice, yeah, because I didn't like me, I didn't trust me, I didn't trust that voice. And I'm speaking of the inner voice, who it is really me. So I think this is something that drove me into this, and maybe, by the way, this is why I didn't sing for so long. But the junction of me starting to sing was in a way related to music I wanted to sing. But what it revealed is that wound of not trusting and not liking my voice. I realized that is the blockage, why I cannot just sing already. I know music is alive in me. Why am I not singing? So no, not liking that voice, not liking something there was in the middle. So it brings as I like to say, the bottom line. We're supposed to be walking on this planet fully in love with ourselves and appreciating ourselves and our beauty and our inner voice and outer voice. We're supposed to love it all. Or if not loving, at least be in peace with it, whoever you are. We have many parts. We have to be in peace with. And what's not, then we have to change. If you're not in peace with the part of you, so change it. If it's unchangeable, then you have to let go and make peace. So I think this is here we are touching kind of a point which we can meet in the circle, we can meet in the journeys, that one is being confronted. First of all, your relationship with your own voice and color of voice, and the deeper level in the color of your expression. What are you talking about? What would you like to talk about? Do you manage how many people we meet, including myself, more in the past, today a bit better, but that finding it hard to speak clearly our heart with no fear. And how many of us feeling immediately understood, that we come so clear that it's immediately understood. I know that many of us are actually feeling there is a friction there. Many people not feeling being understood, not feeling being expressing themselves. I hear it a lot in the circle. People that afraid to speak, not sure they can speak, try to look for words, how to say what. So the work of the voice is actually the work of you, the creator you, and this one is to be revealed. And the beauty is that you don't need to build anything. You just need the opposite, to let go of many things until you meet actually the true self you according to this moment, who you are now, ever-changing one.
Yeah, and something that I've heard you say before, which resonates a lot, and I think it makes sense, that our voice and the rawness, the honesty of our voice when we let go and when we surrender and when we're true to the moment and to the feelings and to whatever's arising is the most refined and beautiful quality of exposure, of nakedness, of being seen, of also really being heard and felt, and our essence transmitting into the world as an expression of life force, as of life, of nature. And when there's so much constriction or so much fear, or even if I'm seen, if I'm heard, maybe I'll be rejected, maybe I have fear that people won't love me or like me, or so much contortion around that honesty, but it's so needed and so necessary. I've noticed, and maybe you can speak on this having traveled around so much, but I've noticed of all of the different ways that I know to come back to the nature, sound and making noise from a genuine space of letting go almost seems like one of the bigger blockages, like of other ways. Maybe it's dance, maybe it's breathing, maybe it's different ways that people can access elements of their nature. What comes up again and again is that sound seems to be one of the ones that's one of our most potent activators of life force, but also one of the most challenging for people to overcome. And it seems that I've seen a trend where people are wanting it now more than ever. But I just would love to hear your take on why is it that people find it so hard to let go if it's so natural and so simple, and what's
As we just spoke,
seeing it
as
around
I
the
just
world.
spoke,
Yeah.
because it is the real you. This is who you are, whether you like it or not. This is who you are. So we are vulnerable around it. It's a big exposure. I don't want to try to translate this sentence, but I will speak the idea of it. In many religions, but I can speak for the Jewish religion. I grew up in Israel as a Jewish boy. And you don't get to hear women singing, women's voice. Because it's not allowed. Because it is extremely, how do you say, exposed. And as a man, you are not supposed to see women's sexual organs or part of the body. You're not allowed to see. Yeah. For the same reason, you are not allowed to hear the voice of a woman. Trying to say that the voice is functioning, no matter how you try to cover up and to hide and to put coats on it and different colors to it, the essence of it is there. The essence of you, the most sacred you, the essence of you is being carried in that voice. That's your voice. So on that note, I pray that we all come to times that it's okay to hear voices of women and men. It's okay to hear the voice of freedom coming out of one, and it's more than okay. It's needed to hear. I feel I need to hear women's voice. I need, because we are lacking it on all levels. But it's not only women's voice. It's the naked voice of all of us. He is in a need. We need to get more naked and to embrace all that causes us the constriction, the hiding, need to be revealed in the most sacred way, the most open way, loving way. We just change some values along the history of humanity. We change the perspective of what is really essential, what is sacred and what is not. So I pray that instead of covering women's voice, speaking now for many cultures that I still, I have friends in Iran, for example, women are not allowed yet. You cannot speak up, you cannot wear the way you're sitting now, you cannot wear these clothes. So I pray that we will grow enough, and especially men in that sense, and again, all of us, to embrace nature in its most authentic way, in its most simple way. We came naked to the world, and we're going to live naked to the world. So instead of covering up and shutting down voices and nakedness and areas that doesn't make us feel comfortable, I pray that we grow into the level of peacemaking with ourselves on all levels, so we can actually start and meet each other. We don't meet each other for real. We meet covers. Meet covers. So cultural covers, religious covers, whatever you want to call it. Is that the right word to use, cover?
Yeah. Like masks would be another.
Masks. So, and that's our journey. That's our journey. As humans, this is our journey. To come back to the true nature, to the powerful nature that we are. And I guess it's inevitable. We had to restrict, we had to be afraid of the truth. It's a fact that we are afraid of the truth. Speaking of hearing your recorded voice, we don't want, that's the truth. It took me time to understand that I don't like the simple truth of my life. This is who I am. This is my voice. Now, what you don't like about that voice? Okay, now let's work with it.
Yeah.
And again, speaking on all levels, I don't speak only of the talking voice, the inner voice. Who are you? If you don't love yourself, if you don't appreciate who you are, if you don't embrace it, then you are still not showing up fully. And we are here to help everybody to show up. Show up as you are. Learn who you are, so you can let go of what is not necessary anymore, what is not serving anymore. And you can bring your power out, so we can all learn from you and meet you and get to enjoy the unique expression you.
Yeah, and I just had a thought arise for those that haven't been in spaces with you before, haven't done temple time or worked with the voice before. What can they expect coming into a space with you? What are the common themes or pieces that come up that people leave going, oh, I'm really grateful for that, or this has shifted for me? What are some of the things that people can expect in coming into a space with you? I know for myself, like receiving your transmission, I love that you have such a direct and loving channel. It's like you've got a real clarity of your being, but also a real lover, such a sweetness and such a kindness to you. You've got this balance of a direct channel and also a really open heart, and being able to balance that too is one of the things that I have loved in being in your space, because it supports me to be able to trust you as a male teacher as well, which I know for myself has been hard over the years to really rest into and to trust that. But because you bring the love, and because you have the clarity and the way, the integrity of how you hold those two, and the care that you have, it's a devotional energy that you have. It really has supported me to be able to trust and lean in, especially as another facilitator, somebody that then for me to be able to surrender into and have space held, I think is so important. And I know there's lots of facilitators that work with you, but also, yeah, what can people expect from your perspective, and what are some of the reflections that seem to be themes that come back again and again from people journeying with you or diving in those containers?
Yeah. So you are touching on the quality and the obstacle. People love the directness and the honesty and the nakedness I come with, and at the same time very triggered by it. Mm. The quality of it and the obstacle of it. Yeah. So at the beginning, or at a certain point, you will actually appreciate that somebody is sitting with you naked of culture in some way, and especially naked of your culture. I'm not coming from Australia, and it's mainly, by the way, the English, but not only. The English daughters, I call it. Mother England, appreciate directness, but at a certain point, it might be too much. That will trigger. And that will be a room for projections, but that will be also the room for where the real work can start. So first of all, I invite for clarity and honesty and simplicity. And I learned to peel off, can you say shed off? Yeah. The cultural masks. And this may take some time for some people to realize that you're actually wearing a mask. So something in my way I go with my directness, and because I'm serving something that is way higher than me, and I'm very clear with what is my role there. So, and I cannot be played in that sense. So I have to come with what I'm going for, so I can meet you. I can meet you whether welcoming my invitation or whether being triggered by my invitation. And then we can actually look at things and see what is really too much here. So the quality and the obstacle of it, and I take it as one of the most important and precious things, because you ask what people get out of journeys with me. What I hear a lot is that it's okay to be who you are. That it's more than okay, that it's precious to be who you are. In your nakedness, in your realness, in your rawness, in your power, and in your vulnerability, in your vulnerable moments. Yeah? That it's okay to speak the truth at any time, even if you are totally not aligned with the truth at that moment. It's okay to express yourself exactly as you are now, so we can actually grow together. And to do that, you need to be trustful enough in yourself to be guided by, in our case, by this male facilitator, which is another topic to bring. Yeah. So the directness, the honesty, we all would love to meet that. This is what we call authentic us, but we will very easily be triggered there. So it's good to hear that already. People who come to meet, it's one of the things you're going to meet. Be ready and open to meet the realness, to meet you, to meet the cover-up you, to meet the mask you, and to meet the free you, or the peel, the naked you. Okay, and I couldn't speak enough of, otherwise I wouldn't share the work. That is a big part of this work, that I got tired of these masks. I got tired of it. It exhausts me if I need to put a mask on me. It's a place I will barely stay. If I need to sit with you with a mask, most probably either I will find my way to be real with you, or I will just go. Go on. And I know that if people, and this I hear a lot, what I find, people feel exhaustions.
Yeah.
Many people I feel exhausted. What is exhausting in just being alive? And a lot of it relate to that, not being authentic.
Yeah.
Not being authentic will exhaust you because it's not you. You are playing a game. You are putting effort on every reaction that you have, every connection that you have. If there is effort in it, you're going to end up exhausted.
Yeah.
So the best way I found to live so far is actually to be real and to be truthful. So no exhaustions, no heaviness. Way more easy. That's, you know, we are touching in different ways, you know, peace work. This is a peacemaking work. The first step is to make peace with who you are. First of all, exactly. Even first of all, the exhausted one. Make peace with the mask you. So we can start get real, basically. And only then you start to reveal yourself. What you've been covered so long. What I love about the temple is we are going to sing, of course. But as you know, and many that knows me already, it's not really about singing. It's truly about letting go your song. I don't sing for the people. I let go of my voice for the people. And I invite people to let go with me. This is why I say many times, don't sing with me, exhale with me. Just exhale. Forget about singing. And this is beautiful. This is really I hope we are not going to get rain. It feels a bit rain.
I was gonna say the musicality of the dogs and the roosters, chirping birds are like
The
that's
whole symphony.
all singing. They're not second guessing. Oh, am I being
Exactly.
right?
Oh, these roasters at 3 in the morning can go happily.
Yeah.
Go for it. Forget about it. Good morning. Yeah.
On a side note, I mean, I would love to just hear your perspective. And I mean, because I think there can be a fear of being judged or rejected or this deep need to belong. And I just would love to hear any insights that you have around that. Also, being somebody that I know for myself, it's one of the things that I grapple with around being authentic as a leader and speaking my truth, but also that fear of being projected onto or having people misunderstand your expression or whatever it is, or your heart. How do you process when people are projecting onto you? But also, what would you say to people that are afraid of having projections or being judged, especially around like sharing the truth of who they are or revealing parts or being vulnerable, I guess, and letting go in their lives, but also in the workshop space? Like, what is
Yeah.
your...
Yeah. So first of all, you remind me another thing that we hear a lot, the feeling of belonging. One of the things I love to hear that people say, wow, I realized how I needed and how I missed the feeling of being part of, belonging to a tribe, belonging to, suddenly we recognize the humanness, that we are all really the same, no matter what language we speak, we are beautiful as we are.
Yeah.
So suddenly feeling of belong, you know, many of us are loners, or in some ways, maybe all of us, having our own very private, intimate connection inside. So suddenly sitting in a circle and sharing yourself and hearing others sharing themselves in such a, you know, authentic and beautiful way, raise that, I call it the muscle of the tribe, the muscle of belonging. So this is a beautiful one. So addressing now the fear of it, because the other side of it is the fear of being judged. It's one of the biggest fears we have, you know, to be judged, to be, how do you say, expelled from the tribe. If I will do wrong, if I will be out of tune, if I will not speak right, whatever we have ideas, I will be kicked out. We are afraid of that. It's a good one to point. So first of all, let's say it's very natural in a society that you are, in a way, all the time being tested and judged for who you are. So it's natural to be afraid to be judged and to be expelled. But let's look a bit deeper. So why would you be judged negatively? Or why would they not like you? What do you think of yourself that the tribe might not like? Already start there. Let's forget the tribe for a moment. What do you think? So one can tell, okay, I'm out of tune. It's not nice, it's not harmonious. People will not like to hear me. So we look at the out of tune. Sometimes it's a story, and sometimes it's real. One is really out of tune. So what is being out of tune? There is no person on the planet or being, not only human, that is not musical. Nature is music. And especially human beings have the quality of creating music, not only living by music, like all the creatures around us. They are a living music without complications, being alive, that's it. We became complicated because we became aware of ourselves. We became conscious of that creation, of that musicality. So being out of tune will address, okay, my nature, my connection to nature. So here we are touching again the essential, but I will go back to the fear of being expelled, rejected. You know how I meet it? We are sitting in a temple that nobody knows. Because honestly, I never met anyone who shared the work I share. And maybe any facilitator you come to meet, you never met his work, her work. So you are sitting in a temple that you don't really know. So as a facilitator, I'm sitting there and I can tell you, can you do it in that way? Once I offer somebody to do something else, one of the biggest wounds that I hear, is I have done wrong. What have I done wrong? And why are you calling me out? Do you use this kind of a terminology, calling you out? People are so afraid to be called out. While actually nobody is calling you out or nobody is judging you, but actually offering you something. You don't know what we are doing here. So you came to learn. So I'm telling you, maybe do that, But we are afraid to be wrong, out of the same exact reason of afraid to be rejected by the tribe. If I will be wrong, I will be rejected. It's the wound of fear, the fear of death we are touching here. The invitation is to come to any journey that you go, any workshop, any journey you go. We have the word in Hebrew, a lesson. The word for lesson, come for a lesson, come to learn something, is amazing root. The root is sha'ar, shi'ur, and it's the same exact root. The same root hold few frequencies. A gate, an assumption, an assuming zone, a zone of assumptions, a gate, and a lesson. So my recommendation to everybody who has that fear, it's of course a deep one, but if you are feeling the call to meet any kind of teaching, to agree to be a student, agree to not know. And when you agree to not know, you have no problem in being wrong. It's very innocent thing to be wrong. one of my best teachers is Scott Anderson in LA, amazing musician, a master guitar player. I was playing in his class in LA as a student, 20-something years old. And he saw the rain is getting wild. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in. And we will renew the conversation.
I can.
So I had to go in for the rain. We were talking about a lesson I got from Scott Anderson. Being a student when I was 23 years old, sitting in his class, and every time I made a mistake, I had this behavior, this thing like, I shouldn't do that. And at a certain point, he stopped me. He said, Amit, what are you doing? You came to make mistakes. You came here to make mistakes, not to be perfect. If you knew perfectly, you wouldn't be here. Yeah. You come to learn. And that was a big lesson for me. You know, we are so afraid to be wrong, and prevent ourselves from really growing. Yeah, just be humble to grow, to learn what you don't know. What you know is already yours. What you don't know, be open for it. So it's one of the things that people meet. Most of the people, and I really speak of most, 99.9% of the people are crossing that river happily. And amazing gift is coming out of that. And people actually free themselves from that obstacle, from that condition, you know. I'm okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I'm just human. What helps me is that I am myself in that frequency. I'm good. I'm okay to be wrong. If I do something wrong, tell me. We will find out. We'll figure out. So that openness and the honesty I come with, I think helps most of the people. You know, I'm saying most because some can really take it hard. And not much you can do as long as the trust is there. If the trust is there, we can cross any river. I have no problem to cross any river. But one needs to trust. And what happens many times that the wound is so deep that one can get so contracted and already in the wrongness or being now in a tribe and being judged or in their perspective, But, this is why I tell everybody, you know, when we meet, it's kind of signing a contract that you're going to cross the river with me. And we can only pray for the best. You cannot promise anything. Most of the time, as I said, people cross that river. It's rare that one or two along my 24 years, you know, few people, it was too much for them and either they left or they left with a bad feeling. You know, that, but it's all possible. It's all healable. And I believe also that it's all accurate for whatever your journey, the journey you are on, you know. Most probably, if you come for a vocal journey, you are willing to express and you are willing to meet yourself in your expression abilities and limitations. Most of the people come for it. So yeah, we are becoming vulnerable, and it's but the power of the tribe is so precious because everybody really, it's such a clear space, no judgment in the tribe. And even if we have situation that the tribe is speaking, and usually this is what is happening, you know, the tribe is talking, and people in the tribe will talk and will point things, and it's so powerful to be in that container of a wise tribe because everybody just want to do good. And if you meet the wound of rejection, if you meet that wound, then we are here to heal it.
Yeah.
You came for it, and we are open for it. You are not coming to be perfectly harmonious. You are coming to meet your obstacles. What is between you and the perfect harmony that you are?
Mm.
And for that, I have full trust in the tribe that we meet every time. I have full trust in the teaching. Otherwise, I wouldn't teach these wisdoms. And and I trust you, the people who come, that will know where to show up as much as possible. I can also speak of that a little bit. Nothing will ever happen to you that is beyond your capacity.
Mm.
When the wound become alive or being touched, the feeling is people becoming overwhelmed that it's not, but there is something in the consciousness when you are rooted in nothing is beyond my capacity, then you are open to meet anything. And we give time to everything.
Yeah. And I think
Whether,
I think as well these days, what I'm noticing, maybe because of after COVID and so much was revealed, people had to face some of their deepest fears and expose vulnerability. And actually, there was a letting go, even if there was a holding on, there was a letting go that had to take place. And I think that, I mean, I can speak for myself, but I've held this for a longer period of time too. But I feel as a collective, there's a deeper yearning for the unperfected, the unedited, the the rawness of the moment. Just give me what's real. And in order for that to happen, there has to be a letting go of the perfection. There has to be a letting go of getting it all right, of knowing it all. And in fact, the letting go of knowing it all and these particular patterns or patternings that we have that hold us in constriction. If I mess up or if I do it wrong or if I express something and I'm too afraid to make a mistake and actually just genuinely learn from the mistake and apologize,
yeah,
there is a entrapment of the spirit that's happening. And I think on the opposite of that, there is such a deep craving to let go because it's so like tight as a collective of, you've got to look a certain way, you've got to present a certain way. This is what's professional. And that I heard it say the other day, someone said it the other day, which I really liked. And I think it speaks to the simplicity piece that you're talking about. But I was talking about innocence and that innocence being our nature, our not knowing, our letting go, our vulnerability, our sweetness. And this particular friend of mine broke it down and they're like, when you're in innocence, you're in a surrendered state of in no sense. So when you can't make sense, you're in innocence, which is that state of wonder. And what we need to do when we're coming to that place of contraction is that how do I let go more into that state of wonder? I wonder what voice might come through. I wonder what expression might occur. I wonder what mistakes I might make and how I might grow from them. I wonder what life is going to give me. And in that sense, you're in the playground of life rather than the contortion of life and trying to fit into these narratives that aren't really based on true nature or freedom versus, oh, I don't know what's going to arise right now, but there's freedom in this. There's freedom in hearing somebody just all of a sudden they're singing and then tears are coming. All of a sudden there's a revealing of something they've been holding so close and think that that's the truth of who they are. And then all of a sudden when it's exposed and then the deeper questions asked, what does it really mean? Or what are you really fearing? And they actually meet that and then let go. It's like, oh, freedom's here. I'm more than just that narrative. I'm more than just that story or that fear of rejection. And I can love the parts that are triggered or arising. And actually it creates more and more connection to the people around you because they can actually feel there's a human there having a human experience versus we're all supposed to be perfect and none of us can really touch the humanity, that
yeah.
that that craving to be like, oh, am I okay to be a beautiful mess? And it's perfect. It's nature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in that sense, it's very relieving.
Mm,
Once you go through it, as I say, you cross that river, wow, it's a life changer in that sense.
mm.
You see that you did break down, you did collapse in your head, but everybody loves you, all is good. And you feel even better.
Yeah. People are like, oh,
What?
I love you
What?
even
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
exactly. We meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we fear the most what we crave for the most.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel that, how do you say this, fear coming, it means something good is waiting for you there. Yeah, something good. So, yeah. But I wish to point, because it's not that the whole journey people are just on that the journey invites to very powerful moments of freedom,
Mm,
and this is why uh, vulnerable points or spaces in us are being opened because
mm,
you meet so much freedom and power in the tribe.
mm,
Then you start to look at yourself and where are you and who are you.
mm,
So it always go together, moments of freedom and powerful exploration to moments of contraction, realizing who you are. This is why I offer this temple. We
mm,
die for freedom, so we meet all that is in between.
mm.
We die for pure love, so we meet all that is in between. So it's always meeting both, yeah. Just to make it clear, because some people may hear and think that we are only, uh,
They can be.
swimming in a contracted
Yeah.
zone. No, it's a beautiful zone, and we can meet the contraction as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's definitely one of the reflections of that sense of softening and trust and openness in the body and moments of singing like a bird and letting go and really resting back into our nature and then seeing what comes and almost like the tribe itself having a collective heartbeat that when we're riding the waves of that, the openness in the group is creating openings in ways that really can touch at such a core level of that belonging or that remembrance or the I also feel in journeying with you and opening in those ways of the letting go of really allowing that freedom, it allows more space for grace and life to flow through in the aftermath as well. It then creates space for more, I guess, blessings to flow into your life, and you start to see the world a bit differently when you're coming from your nature and coming back again and again from your heart, not just as a mental concept, but as a felt, living, breathing expression that you can continue to open with. And yeah, it's such a beautiful gift to give yourself to be able to create that space. It's like it's what I say, it's that journey over a lifetime of knowing yourself and knowing how to come back home again and again. And it's a dance. It's not there's no end goal per se, but it's like how can I meet myself with love today again and again. And I think the work that you do supports the freedom of that, the possibility of that, and the body to know at a deep level that it's loved and it's safe and to belong to something bigger, like that breath or
Yeah,
that sound, what you call like souling. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Just to add on that note, the call for balance,
Mm.
creating balance in all levels, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creating balance. For what I learned so far, I don't see any other way to bring true balance into life, again, on all levels, that is not by letting go. The only way to really bring yourself into balance is at the end of the day to let go. Whatever you think you are, whomever you think you are, whatever it is, letting go. In the temple of voice and song is very clear. You let go of the most essential you, the core you, through the flute you, the body you. It touches all the bodies. You let go. You can do it 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 days, 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, and you will see the difference. You let go and you become more in balance. Your bodies become more in balance. Your elements become more in balance. So speaking of a healthy being, harmonious being in all levels, in and out, come to the invitation to let go at the end of the day. Let go even of the thoughts and stories and ideas. And when you do it with the voice, it's very powerful because it touches all the bodies. It's not only the mental, not only the physical, no, it's everything that you are letting go when you reveal that voice. And it's everything that will be revealed when you let go of that voice. For you to hear, to make peace, to let go of what is not you anymore, and to embrace the new naked you, the new powerful you in that sense. You can only reveal your power through let go. You cannot reveal it in any book that you will read or anything that you will bring in. To meet your truth is only through let go. And it's, thank God, it's not only me speaking it. You know, it's not a new concept that we hear, but many are so hard to accept it because we became such a mindy creature. If the mind does not understand, then that's as far as I can go. And this is a big obstacle. Let go of the mind stories and the concept. It's a huge one. And I'm speaking it because it's the same one who is afraid to be wrong and afraid to be rejected. It's only that mind, it's only that ego us that is so protective and so helplessly trying to mask what is actually cannot be masked. So we are walking full of mask while totally naked. Even the mask is illusion in that sense. So speaking it because we are coming to meet and to sing, but we are coming to let go so we can bring more balance, so we can meet more of the naked truth that we are. This is what I care for, and this is what I am there for, and whatever it takes. And it's been such an inspiring journey, Jade. 24 years sharing with thousands of people. So much inspiration. Each one of us is such a unique, beautiful being. Each one of us is a unique, one of a kind, one of a universe, kind of a creature. No one ever been before you, and no one will ever be after you. It's only one time that the divine creation passing and looks and smells and feels and hears the way it comes through you. Only you exist as you. And this is how precious you are and how unique you are. And I'm speaking for all of us. We are walking with so many fears and so many misconceptions about ourselves and the nature and truth, while we are such a unique creature. You know, we got a bit confused with this unity thing, with this unity, that we are all one. We are all one, but we are very unique individuals, so unique, so preciously unique, so beautifully unique. And I love this uniqueness, and I love the differences and the different colors. Therefore, I love cultures, and I love different approaches. I love to be a stranger in a zone. I'm here in the land of I'm speaking to you from Bali. Such a beautiful place. It's not my homeland. It's not where I grew up yet. Beautiful, and you meet just, you know, so many different ways of living in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are invited to really fall in love with the uniqueness, to not to be afraid to reveal the unique us, to not to be afraid to be different. To be different. We so much want to be part of a tribe that we actually don't allow it with all our misconceptions. The tribe wants one thing from you, that you will be you. Yeah, it will love you anyway, and it will accept you anyway, because there is no other choice. Yeah, the tribe is there always. Life is there, humanity is there. You will always be loved as much as you are, yeah, as much as you will be willing to be loved. But what is really being expected or wished for and prayed for is that you will be you. Be you. We want the freedom you. We want the true you. We want the authentic true you, the naked you, the crying you, the laughing you, the powerful you, the weak you. We just want you as you are, not as anything else. This is something that we all crave for, and we all afraid as we spoke. I'm just summarizing a bit that whole topic we opened with. Afraid to express or be seen or be rejected or judged.
Yeah, and I think that the embodying love in the expression of nature, in the form of nature that is our natural expression, is so craved. And when we try and figure it out, we try and represent a certain thing, you can feel it, and it almost creates more of the separation that we're afraid of experiencing. But when it's real and it's raw and it's joy or it's sadness or it's whatever it is that's alive in the moment, there's like an electricity or a life force or there's that person as they are in that moment, and they have freedom to be as they are in the next moment. But it's like the nature, or it's like the weather, it's allowed to shift and transform, and that's what we all get blessed from. That it's refreshing in that sense, that embodied love is, I guess that's what I make up when I hear harmony, and it's like, it's an embodiment of our heart's expression and the heart nature and our ability to tap back into or just remember our innocence and come from that place. And then it doesn't really rely on anything other than just here I am. And there's a gift in that, in the being, rather than it's such a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I'm so glad that we're going to get a chance to receive the temples with you in Australia again, Amit. And we're starting in Melbourne and then going to Sydney, Bellingen, and then Mullumbimby, and then you've got the 10-day retreat also in Mullum. I just will share the dates as well, unless there's anything else you want me to share.
People can just go to the website. All the information is there. Everybody is welcome. Thank you, Jade. It was a pleasure talking with you, and thank you for the introduction. And it's very humbling to hear, to be seen by you. And thank you for the way you see me. Thank you for the beauty and the wisdom and the trust that you express. You know what? Just this last bit, because we did touch it, and being a man facilitator. Today, 24 years teaching, mostly women. Meeting, I would say, less than teaching even. It's about meeting. So women from the first day of coming out with this work were my first teachers. And until today is the most dominant teachers in my life. Because still the balance of men and women in the workshop is usually more women than men. And we can talk about why in another time. There are many ideas why. But the fact is that I've been, how do you say, sitting on a chair and being projected a lot by my sisters. A lot of things were projected. And it took some time to learn what it means and how to handle. You were asking me that question, we didn't really get into it. So just briefly to speak of the privilege of being a man and sharing the work I share and being able to sit there and to get the projection, to allow that wound to be revealed. I feel privileged to be trusted and to be part of the healing between men and women. In that sense, which I find the most precious healing you can look for these days. So it's the man, it's the father, it's the partner. And as years went by and more men started to come, so it became also the man and the father and the brother and the authority. You know, we have wounds around all these characters, all these. So I feel privileged to sit on my chair and actually be able to meet it all and to support and allow as well as enjoy the inspiration of that process. You know, crossing the rivers with everybody. We cross the rivers. Sometimes small rivers, sometimes big rivers. But again, if the trust is there, it's so precious. That's the healing we're all looking for. So there were some years I became a bit terrified, to be honest, of being a man with women. And the amount of projections and the amount of, but it just revealed the depth of the wound. So deep and so alive to these days. It's not an ancient wound. It's still alive. The separation is still there in so many levels. So I feel privileged and honored to share with my sisters and my brothers. And just wanted to speak of that because it's really a precious space for that. So I want people to do feel comfortable and welcome. And welcome, no matter what. We are ready for everything, for anything. We are here for the true healing to happen. Whatever is there, whatever your journey, wherever you are in your journey, we are there for that. And if you will come, it means your timing is good. It means you are ready for that healing. And I trust that.
I'll add a little bit onto that too, but I've been recently really feeling the need for mixed gender space and for temples to be alive for both men and women, for us to see one another as connected to our hearts, connected to our nature. And something that really has been touching me, and I've been playing with it a little bit, is this recognition that as I'm sitting in a room of women, because I'm majority of the time I work with women, occasionally with men as well, which I'm feeling the pull for more of the mixed. But I really had this recognition that half of my DNA that makes me who I am comes from a man. And for men, half of the DNA that makes him who he is comes from a woman. And this idea that I'm just a woman without half of me being my male counterpart, and this idea that even if I've got wounds around the masculine, or if there's a man that's got wounds around the feminine, female, male, that I can separate it somehow. It's actually all me. So how do I, as a woman, as a leader, create space within myself, but also invite space for that unity, for that honoring of nature in both the male line and the female line, in the inheritance that's innate. And I think when we sing and when we also have space where we're there with the opposite sex, or there's an expression of that, I think we've got more of a chance of starting to heal what's within us. So it's not just about a father thing or a male thing. It's actually half me is male, made up of male DNA. So I'm sitting in a room full of women, but I'm also there. I just had this experience over the weekend. I was like, wow, I'm in a room full of women, but I'm also in a room full of male DNA and female DNA. Like it was just such a beautiful thing. And I think that what you're touching on around being able to, I guess, sit in that role and the honor of it, but also I'm really feeling the deeper layer and nuances of unity that's possible when we start to heal those projections and can have a loving invitation to meet them and recognize, oh, there's a projection here, or there's something I want to put outside, but actually, where does it sit within me? And I know that we represent certain archetypes to one another. And I just, yeah, honor that there's a archetype that you've been holding of the male body and and the bigness of that and the importance of that for us as women. And I think also the importance of that for men with women too. So yeah, just thank you for bringing your heart and showing up and for receiving all the projections and for the healing that's possible in that as well. And yeah, yeah.
With great honor.
Mm. Mm.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank
So
you.
on that note, thank you as a sister for seeing me and trusting. Yeah, thank you, and for supporting my work and my whole Australian tour now. I look forward to it. Yeah, beautiful. I love being in Australia.
Mm, yeah, thank you. Thank you for this interview. It's always nourishing to connect with you, and I hope that the rest of your time in Bali is beautiful, and we will look forward to having you in Australia with us. Yeah.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
I'll
I look forward. Bye bye.